All right. Listen, I've done $6 or $7 million in total sales selling coaching and consulting programs in a variety of niches. Some B2C, meaning business to customer, some B2B, business to business. And there is one key difference. If you're a B2B marketer or a B2C marketer that you really need to understand, because it's just a fundamental way that people make decisions that is different, okay? And it's why, I'm able to have a B2C business that is on track for multiple six figures a month in sales, right? And this month is our second month running it, and we should wrap up this month about 35,000 on the low end to 55,000 on the higher end in sales, which honestly we probably could even do more if we just pushed, but trying to make the product good. And then by month 3, it should be like at least 100 grand a month. And then my B2B business, it's the reason why it's able to pull in minimum six figures a month in profit. And it's because of this simple framework. It's because I understand the buyer psychology, and it's not hard to understand. I want to explain it in this video. It's the same reason why, I've helped now, of the 30 students that I've gotten to $1 million a year, some of them are B2B, some of them are B2C, and it's just because you can change the context of how people need marketed to. And it's just such a simple framework, and nobody taught me this. This is just something I kind of came up with. So if you hear this somewhere else, know that I came up with this little simple framework. I just know that this would spread. It's just really, really good, and I feel like I should probably be charging for this information, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Okay, and I'm going to really expand on this too and really make it very practical and give you live case studies of businesses I've helped build based on this framework here. So it's really worth sticking around in this video if you're serious about six-figure months with your coaching or consulting business, whether you're B2C or B2B. So here we go. B2C buys off of inspiration. B2B buys off of information, okay? Such a simple little phrase, but let me expand on it for a second so that you understand how helpful this idea can be if you are currently struggling to scale, whether it's your B2C or your B2B business, right? So B2B, let's talk about B2B for a second. I follow a lot of people in the B2B space. You've got some really big names who consult 7- and 8-figure businesses, and a lot of their content is just incredibly informative. It's incredibly informative. And that's what gets business owners interested, is they want the information. However, people who don't run businesses, and I would say people who don't run businesses or people who earn less than 100 grand a year, because if you get over 100 grand a year, you have to be somewhat logical in your thinking. You have to be able to view the world and own your stuff, like own your life, view the world properly. Like you have to have some semblance of the ability to rationally reason. But if you're beneath 100 grand a year in income, and this is a very blanket statement here, like do not take this as like a comment on like the socioeconomic state of people or anything, but usually those people need more inspiration. So in my B2C company, this is Kingdom Content Creator Academy. Okay, this is where we help Christian men start short-form marketing businesses. My whole marketing over there is so inspirational. It's so inspirational. Now, we inform once they're inspired, though. Okay, so we inspire, we get them to believe in this way of doing things. We inspire them, talk about freedom, talk about how I've got freedom in my life because I have high-income skills, talk about how they could travel, give, and provide, and, these inspirational ideas. Primarily freedom and autonomy. That's one of the big things that we lead with over there is freedom and autonomy. Because money, if you lead with money, you get broke people. But if you lead with freedom and autonomy, you get people who, have a little bit of money but want freedom, which is what we get. We get like, we get people like doctors and lawyers booking calls for like $30-$40. We're getting booked calls. It's amazing. And, because they don't feel free. They want freedom to be with their families. That's like such a big part of the message. So that's inspiration, though. You notice that's inspiration. Freedom to be with your family. I talk about my child and how he's 11 months old and how because I've developed these skills, I can spend time with him. Like right now, after filming this video, right now, today, I should have a payment coming through, and I should have 2 or 3 payments coming through, be an $18,000 day for me, and then I'm done, and then I go and I hang with my wife. And that's because I have high income skills, and I want people to have high income skills, and a simple place to start is what we're teaching over there. So I talk about the freedom component. I talk about the ability to live life on your own terms, and how, the Lord in Scripture calls us to not serve one of two masters. And if you're week to week in your finances, and you're working a job maybe that's a good job and you're getting paid well, but you don't have the autonomy to then do other things. I genuinely believe that that's an unbiblical way to live. You're making money, you're idle. So you have to find something that, gives you the ability to serve in the other arenas of your life. So if you just listen to that messaging for a second, you just unpack it. It's a very inspirational message. It's it kind of calls on certain values, right? And certain worldviews. Whereas B2B, my B2B marketing is literally as simple as, here's an example of a funnel we built for a client and what it's returned for them. If you want our help, like, you know what I mean? Or whatever. And so like my B2B marketing. So once KCCA is kind of done, my plan is to launch a really nice fleet of low ticket products, anywhere from $7 to $97, and just really over delivering these products for business owners, for other online coaches or consultants who want to get to $100,000 to $500,000 a month at a 40 to 60% profit. Talking about organic content, talking about ads, all this stuff. And when I go into that stuff and people start to see the expertise demonstrated, 5-6 years of doing this, well over $1.5 million in advertising spend, and well over $6.5, maybe $7 million in earnings as well. Tens of millions earned for students and clients. Like, it's just so hard to refute those numbers. So business owners piques their interest, and then I inform and I over deliver. And business owners are a lot more information driven, especially if you can over deliver in the information for what you're charging. You can get most business owners. Like, if you just put together a $97 product and you've got stuff in there that you're like, I could charge $5,000 for this information. This is good freaking information. Guess what? You're going to have business owners lining up to pay you 10 to 50 grand a month. Not a month, sorry, 10 to 50 grand, right? Maybe 100 grand. Because business owners, they need solutions to logical problems. And if you can demonstrate that you have the logical solution to their problem, then they'll buy. It's really that simple. So I'll tell you what, a lot of people think that they're B2B, but they're actually B2C. And you know that you're B2C when you're having to emotionally sell. Frankly, if you have to emotionally sell, then you're B2C. If you information sell, you're B2B. Okay? I've got a client who just got into my one-on-one direct mentorship. They do about 20 to 30 grand a month. They're closing 10%. Okay? And it's because they're logically selling to an emotional market. So we looked at some of their calls, and they were logically selling to an emotional market. And I was like, guys, and it makes a lot of sense because these individuals, they are they are both ex-software engineers. So like, they're gonna sell pretty freaking logically. You know what I mean? These are the most logical software engineers, man. Their brain is a calculator. Like they have, you know what I mean? So in my theory, obviously I have to dig deeper into this. They just got started with me. Is they're selling logically. Even the way that they signed up with me was so logical. They were asking all these super logical questions. I was like, I'm happy to answer them. But, then they got started. And I'm like, the way that you buy is usually the way that you sell kind of thing. And so, yeah. So I just think that a lot of people, they don't understand the difference between these two markets. Consumers buy on emotion. Business owners buy on information. You notice insurance ads, which is primarily a B2C thing. They sell family. They sell peace. You know what I mean? You look at Dave Ramsey, financial peace. They're selling an emotional state of mind, peace, freedom, security, a sense of identity or belonging. These are the things that your atypical, call it Western civilian, is hungry for. And if you can give them those things, they'll buy whatever vehicle you want. You're positioning for them to have those things with. So, if you boil down KCCA, this other offer that I have, yes, we help Christian men start short-form content agencies. More than that, though, we speak to the that's just the most tangible. That's like saying Nike sells shoes. You know what I mean? It's no, they don't. There's a lot more going on there. They don't sell shoes. They sell something much different than shoes. Shoes is just the vehicle with which they sell the thing that they actually sell, which, in my opinion, Nike sells an identity. So Nike sells an identity or a way of viewing yourself, right? Or a tribe. A Nike logo, a swoosh. The Nike swoosh, you're a part of something. You know what I mean? Same like Gymshark, right? Gymshark has a whole feel. It's an identity. It's a tribe. It's a sense of belonging. These are things that people are hungry for. So when we're marketing KCCA, we're not just saying this vehicle to reach this outcome. We're talking about the other community members, talking about the movement, talking about changing thousands of lives, kingdom men, this sort of stuff, this messaging of a tribe and identity. As well, we're selling freedom, security, these things. And so I just think it's really important, you guys, that you understand B2C people, consumers, do not buy on information. So if you have a B2C offer, meaning you sell to people who make less than $100,000 a year, right? That's a great way to define B2C. Because above that, even though they're, quote, not a business owner, they're going to make a decision like a business owner will. You know what I mean? Very logical. Very, very logical. Now, if you sell to people who make less than 100 grand a year, odds are you're going to have to use a lot more emotional tools to get the deal done. Whereas if you sell to business owners, emotional tools, you'll actually lose trust. Because a lot of them, they're like, they don't care, and that doesn't work for them. So it's kind of an interesting thing for me as I notice how simple it is to sell B2B, because you just have to have a legitimately good solution, right? So yeah, guys, I just want to make a short video on the difference between B2C marketing and business-to-business marketing, and I'll read a little post for you guys real quick here that I put on my Facebook wall too. I think this is maybe good. Just to really super summarize. B2C buyers buy off of inspiration. B2B buyers buy off of information. Okay, and again, you heard it here first. All right, because frankly, I have never heard somebody say this before. I'm sure they've said it in their own version, but if you hear somebody say B2C buyers off inspiration, B2B buyers off information, you know they're watching my channel and they're selling you my ideas. So, for example, our B2C company, Kingdom Content Creator Academy, is a VSL funnel, a 15-minute mini webinar that is high potent, emotional, high inspiration, and calls on values. That's why we're getting a $50 booked call and a 4x return on cash day one on ads. And if you've been around in the market, you know how legit that is, okay? Especially in our current state of the coaching industry. I genuinely don't know anybody else who's doing that right now. And then in B2B, my B2B company, which I'm calling Kaizen Mastermind based on the Kaizen Japanese business philosophy of 1% improvements every day over a long period of time. This is called formerly my Scaling Blueprint Mastermind, is mostly organic content marketing and soon to have a low ticket, product suite that highly inform, over-deliver in value, and teach things that I could or really should charge much more for. And this leads to signing up, high-ticket, direct work clients fairly easily because I understand the lingo of the B2B market that I'm in. I understand the way that they think, the problems they have. I can speak to them. I've experienced them myself and worked people through them. Hundreds of people worked through them. And then I sounded like Donald Trump there. I was like, hundreds of people. But anyway, B2C is inspiration, B2B is information. You remember that? And you'll sell way more of your stuff. Okay? Take this one to the bank. Enjoy it. Let me know how it works in your business.